Let me ask you the question. When you see miracles, do you see a coincidence or do you see God's hand moving in our circumstances? When something happens in your life that is somehow outside of the expected and outside of expectations, do you see a coincidence or do you see God's hand moving in circumstances?
So I don't know how that ended up all the way outside under her vehicle. I honestly thought someone would have been hurt or killed because of the devastation. Like, just looking at it, it was scary to look at.
Hi, I'm Anna. September 11th, 2018 was a day I had long dreaded. It was my 50th birthday. I was messed up that day. I was in such a state. I looked over my life and I wondered where my youth had gone. I recently had lost my job and I felt like there was nothing to look forward to, except of course wrinkles and body aches. So I had resigned myself to just muddle through the day. You know, I wasn't going to answer any texts, no birthday wishes over the phone. I just wanted to be left alone. I wanted to be invisible. My day started actually quite early. Around 7:30, a friend of mine called me and she asked me to meet her out back. When I got out there, she was holding a cupcake with a lit candle in it and a cup of Tim Hortons tea. I was so surprised and grateful at the same time. And that gesture actually messed up all my plans to just mope that day. So I thought once my son Elisha was off to school, I'd enjoy my birthday tea in the gazebo. It started to rain, so my father-in-law agreed to drive Elisha to school. However, the rain quickly stopped and Elisha decided to walk to school to meet up with a friend. So at around 8:25, I went upstairs to my bedroom window where I usually go to watch my son walk to school. Elisha was going off to school and his friend was going to his bus stop. All of a sudden, I hear a crash. I looked out the window and I saw this vehicle with its front end completely mangled. I looked for the boys. They were okay, but they hadn't really gotten far. Seconds later, I saw a second vehicle crash through the property where the bus stop was. I stood there in disbelief as this vehicle accelerated right towards our property. It went through our fence, through our gazebo, and into our garage. Our backyard was totally destroyed. And yet, I thank God. You see, the accident, it happened at 8:30. That was the time that Elisha's grandpa was going to drive him to school. And had the rain not stopped that morning, they would have been in the garage at that time, and both of them would have been gone. That was also when I asked Elisha to start walking to school. Had he waited, he wouldn't have been here. Had Elisha's friend been at his bus stop, he would have been gone as well. Children were walking to school, and patrols were at the bus stop. God spared so many lives that morning. And then there's me. I was going to be sitting in my gazebo with my birthday tea. The chair that I often sat in was completely mangled. It actually got caught under the vehicle. I wouldn't be here today. All thoughts of self-pity and gloom and despair, they disappeared, and I was left with an enormous amount of gratitude. You see, for a long time now, I have been struggling spiritually. And recently, I told God that I really desired a deeper connection with Him. In all of this, I quickly saw God's hand. He is so good. He has a plan for my life, I know that now. And today I see things so differently. It's only stuff we lost. What's important looks so different. When my husband and I settled in for the night, he reminded me of Pastor John's message that previous Sunday. At one point, John said, I never cried that day. I don't know why I'm crying now. Don't mistake God's miracles for coincidence. It was no coincidence that not one person was hurt or died that day. It was a miracle. And what He did in my heart is a miracle as well.